It all started on a breezy Thursday morning in a quiet Florida cul-de-sac, where the only drama used to be whose sprinklers turned on too early. That was before Diana Brewster, self-appointed president of the Maple Glen HOA, decided she was the last line of defense between peace and chaos. And chaos, apparently, wore cargo pants and drove a black sedan. To the rest of the neighborhood, Diana was that lady with the clipboard, the one who measured grass blades with a ruler, who fined you for holiday lights on January 2nd, and who filed formal complaints about wind chimes being too whimsical. But to Diana, she was a guardian of order, a suburban Joan of Arc, a warrior with a laminated copy of HOA bylaws and a cousin with a tow truck. The real story kicked off when Diana spotted a strange vehicle parked near the community garden, a spot she considered sacred territory. Now, to be clear, the spot wasn't reserved. It wasn't even particularly desirable. But Diana had unofficially claimed it years ago, citing sightline integrity and community harmony. When that unfamiliar sedan showed up one evening and didn't leave by morning, her paranoia kicked into overdrive. She didn't recognize the car, and worse, it had tinted windows and no HOA decal. In Diana's world, that was a red alert. She didn't knock on any doors or ask around. Nope. She took a photo, blew her signature red whistle, and called her cousin Gary, who ran G&G Recovery Services, a towing operation that operated more like a suburban repo squad. By 9:45 a.m., Gary's truck was lowering its hook under the car. That's when the front door of the house across the street opened, and someone stepped out. It wasn't just anyone. It was Jason Morales, a quiet, slightly mysterious guy who had moved in 2 months ago. He always wore aviators, drank coffee from a steel mug, and nodded politely to neighbors, but kept mostly to himself. Diana thought he was a freelance graphic designer. Turns out, Jason was an undercover detective with the county sheriff's office, running surveillance on a property nearby linked to a local land fraud ring. The car she was towing, a fully equipped covert operations vehicle registered under a department alias. Jason looked at the scene unfolding. Tow truck, clipboard lady in slippers screaming about violations, and neighbors filming through blinds, and calmly said, "Excuse me, is there a reason you're hooking up my vehicle?" Diana snapped back, "This is private property. That car doesn't belong here. We have rules, and I enforce them." Jason took a deep breath. "Ma'am, I live here, 2 houses down. This car is part of an active investigation." She scoffed. "That's not my problem. You didn't fill out the parking permit request. This is a community of structure and accountability." He quietly pulled out his badge and held it up. "Detective Jason Morales, County Sheriff's Office." That's when time froze. Neighbors stopped mid-sip of their morning coffee. The tow truck driver, now visibly sweating, backed off the hook and muttered something about needing to check paperwork. But Diana? Oh no. She doubled down. "Badge or no badge, nobody gets special treatment. Not even you." Jason calmly replied, "If you had towed that car, you would have compromised a felony-level investigation and tampered with evidence. You could be facing criminal charges." Her response? "I'll be filing my complaint with your department, the HOA, the mayor, and the governor if I have to." She had no idea what she'd just stepped into. Later that afternoon, Jason filed a report. Not just about the incident, but about Diana. Complaints had already been stacking up. Forged citations, fines issued without warning, and whispers that she'd been funneling HOA funds into mysterious community projects that no one had ever seen. And then, Diana made her biggest mistake. She posted an edited video of the morning confrontation to her Facebook page titled, "Cop Harasses HOA President for Doing Her Job." She cut out her own yelling, the tow truck, and Jason identifying himself. It was bad acting meets bad editing. Unfortunately for her, the real footage surfaced within hours, from Jason's body cam, a neighbor's doorbell cam, and even old Mr. Callahan's drone camera. The internet devoured it. The Karen of Maple Glen memes exploded. One guy remixed her shouting, "Rules are rules," into a trap beat. It went viral overnight. But behind the memes, a storm was forming. Internal Affairs opened a formal inquiry. The county code enforcement team looked into G&G recovery and discovered dozens of illegal tows, many tied to neighborhoods where Diana's HOA consulting services had been voluntarily adopted. Turns out, she wasn't just the HOA president of Maple Glen. She had been acting as an HOA consultant for other nearby neighborhoods, pushing aggressive enforcement policies for a fee. And yes, her cousin's towing company was part of the package deal. Residents started talking. A woman shared how Diana fined her for excessive front door wreath sparkle. Another claimed Diana banned his pickup truck because it had a bumper sticker she didn't like. A teenager said she tried to confiscate his hoverboard. Suddenly, silence turned into outrage. Jason encouraged everyone to speak up. With multiple statements, receipts, and a confession from a former HOA treasurer who admitted Diana pressured him into approving bogus expenses, an audit was launched. And then it happened. Diana was pacing her front lawn, red blazer on, phone in one hand, barking into Bluetooth about maintaining order, when two officers approached with a warrant. She laughed at first. "This is harassment. I know the law." They calmly replied, "You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit fraud, obstruction of justice, and multiple counts of unlawful vehicle seizure." She screamed, literally screamed, then grabbed the garden hose and sprayed them. It did not help her case. Handcuffed on her lawn, mascara running, robe soaked, Diana's empire collapsed in front of the entire block. Footage of the arrest went even more viral than the first video. Reddit threads popped up. One TikTok influencer turned it into a dramatic reading. Someone even printed T-shirts. "I survived the HOA Karen takeover." In court, the evidence was overwhelming. Fake invoices, missing funds, illegal tows, and a forged expense sheet that included a conceptual budgeting charge for a non-existent HOA holiday parade in July. Her defense? That she was misunderstood, that she was protecting community values. But the jury didn't buy it. She was found guilty, banned from ever holding a community leadership position again, and sentenced to community service and restitution to dozens of residents. Meanwhile, Maple Glen had its first real block party in years. Kids played, neighbors laughed. Jason was invited as the guest of honor. Someone handed him a slice of cake shaped like a parking sign. He took a bite and smiled. A handmade sign was hung at the old garden parking spot. It read, "Reserved for residents who mind their business. No Karens allowed." As for Diana, last we heard, she tried to start a new HOA-style watch group in her sister's neighborhood. It lasted 5 days before residents petitioned to ban her from the block. Some stories end with revenge, but this one? It ended with justice, sunshine, and a community finally free to hang wind chimes again. Now I gotta ask, have you ever dealt with an HOA gone rogue? Or someone who took neighborhood order a little too far? Drop your stories in the comments. I promise we'll read every single one. Let's get the conversation going.